different ways of life, the Vedic Age. In the previous chapters, we learned about the origin of human life and his gradual growth from nomadic life to settlement in towns and cities. Usage of tools from stones to metals like copper and bronze improved man's skills. Shelters from caves in hills region to mud houses, mud bricks and plant burned bricks houses improved his lifestyle as can be gathered from the archaeological finds. In this chapter, we will see that in addition to material remains, the historians also examine the written sources and oral sources later put in writing. It would also be observed how different cultures exist in a vast country like India at the same time. The advent of Aryans. The new inhabitants who settled in North India called themselves Arya. One of the chief sources of information on the lifestyle of this period is Rigveda and other Vedas such as Samaveda, Yajur, and Atharva Veda. This period, when Vedas were composed, is called Vedic Age. The Vedic literature has been traditionally held sacred, for it is believed to have been derived from divine sources. The Vedas, originating from the word Ved meaning knowledge, are believed to be eternal. There are four Vedas: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. They contain hymns in praise of various gods and goddesses. These hymns were recited and passed from one generation to the next until many centuries later they were finally written down. The Rig Veda is the oldest Veda, comprising 1028 hymns and divided into parts or mandalas. It is a collection of prayers in honor of various Hindu deities such as Agni, Surya, Varuna, and Indra. The Samaveda consists of slokas of the Rigveda set to tune. The Yajurveda consists hymns which are recited during the performance of specific rituals. These rituals gives us an idea of social and political condition of those times. The Atharva Veda comprises early traditions of healing and magic. Apart from the four Vedas, the Vedic literature also includes the Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and the Upanishad. The Brahmanas are commentaries on Vedic hymns. The Aranyakas found at the end of Brahmanas were forest books meant for hermits. The Upanishads contain philosophical speculations. The two epics, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, are also considered to be prominent Vedic age creations. These two are concerned with events which took place between 1000 BC and 700 BC, but they were finally completed only by 400 AD. What kind of a society prevailed? The smallest unit of society was the kula or the family. The eldest male member of the family, who was known as the Grahapati, headed the kula. His decisions were final. His children and grandchildren to lived with him as a joint family. A number of kulas together were known as a village or clan. A member of clans became a jana, tribe. A number of janas formed a grama, means village. Besides the Aryans, there were another group of people whom the Aryans called the Dasas or Dayus. Their culture was different from that to the Aryans. They also spoke a different language. Most of the Dasas were perhaps enslaved, and so the term Dasa later came to mean slave. Most Dasa had to do whatever work was given to them by their masters. The caste system. The society was divided into four distinct castes or varnas on the basis of the skill or work of the people. The Brahmins, priests, Kshatriyas, kings and warriors, Vaisyas, farmers and merchants, and Sudras, manual workers. During the early Vedic period, the professions of a person determines his caste. It was flexible and intercaste marriages could take place. The four ashramas. Ashrama referred to the age-based social system of the Vedic period. The life of a person was divided into four stages called ashramas. For the first 5 years of his life, the child lived with his family. Thereafter, he entered the ashrama stage, which are as follows. First, Brahmacharya was the first stage of man's life after birth, when he needed to obtain knowledge as a student by studying the Vedas. Second, Grihastha. Grihastha was the second stage of life. During this stage, man was supposed to marry and lead a family life. Third, Vanaprastha was the stage when man needed to offer his services to others. Fourth, Sannyasa was the last stage in a man's life when he renounced the world and lived in the forest. Do you know? The ancient Egyptians worshipped Re, the sun god, Ptah, the god of Memphis, Horus, the king's personal god, and Amun, a god of Pharaoh, who was the most important of all the gods in Egypt. Thank you.